We've got 5 here in Australia and we have 4 in Dallas, Texas. We took 4 properties on in 2 days at one point a few weeks back.
9 properties in 3 months.
Yeah.
We acquired an LLC that someone was selling with a 4 property portfolio already set up, already operating.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Behind the B&B. I am so honored to have Jonathan and Rebecca joining me on the show today. Hi guys, welcome.
Hello.
So why don't we get straight into it? I'd love for you guys to introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about, your background, what you do, and what led you to, starting this Airbnb journey.
Yeah, we're the owners of Elara Escapes here, based in Queensland, Australia. We've been going almost 3 months now. And I guess for both of us, the true freedom is probably the end goal, and one of the reasons why we started this. We have certain things we desire for our family. We have 4 small kids, so life's pretty busy and hectic. And I come from over 20 years experience in the hotel management side. We've had other things in the past that have been separate, and we wanted to do something together that we could kind of set a legacy up for our kids. And kind of led us to here. 3 months ago, we kicked things off.
Yeah, I've had my own business for 11 years now, and that's mostly run online. It's in the network marketing sphere, and that has taught me a lot about marketing, especially online marketing and social media marketing. So that is kind of a strength that I bring. We did just renovate our house, and I did the whole thing myself. So I feel like I have an eye for detail and design, and we ended up selling that house at the end of last year, which freed up some cash to be able to then join the coaching program and get things kicked off for the business.
Let's talk about your property. So how many Airbnbs do you have?
I came into this, I come from a bit of a sales background, and
He's actually a really good salesman.
I'm pretty determined when it comes to relationships and closing and things like that. So I was excited for this challenge, but I had a goal of 10 properties in a year. I figured that was aggressive but realistic, and we've fast tracked that a little bit. But we've got we're at 9 properties right now. We've got 5 here in Australia and all up the East Coast, and we have 4 in Dallas, Texas. So we've just got 1 more property that isn't live right now that Beck's finalising next week up in Cairns, and then we will have 9 live. I guess the only thing is we took 4 properties on in 2 days at one point a few weeks back. So that was probably, I probably wouldn't advise that from anyone watching, because, I was doing a lot of prospecting. I was going pretty hard, as James would know, but all the dominoes fell. All the work I put in finally came to fruition at the same point.
9 properties in 3 months.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about those 4 in 2 days. So your prospecting, what did that look like? For people who are watching this, we always get the question, how do you get that first property? How long is it going to take you? Obviously, you've got that a little bit of a sales background that kind of helped, I guess, in a way. But how did those 4 fall into place? Yeah,
look, it's interesting. I've obviously got a bit of experience with this before, so I'm okay with getting rejection. That's something that you got to be comfortable with, because every rejected opportunity is one step closer to the next one you're going to get. Yeah. And it's 99 out of 100 no's. That's pretty much how it works. And I was calling agents off ads. I was going to listings. I was email prospecting, kind of doing it all. And I was lucky enough to get one relatively quickly, and she's now been one of the agents that I'm going to try and keep a really strong relationship with, so they start sending properties to us. And then I just spent a couple of weeks really hitting it hard, and that's how it all came at once, really. But I think the number one thing with this is it's a lot of mindset work, and obviously James teaches this in the programs, but it's so important to be resilient, because it's, nothing good is ever going to be easy to achieve in life. And that means you need to go through the highs and lows. And we've certainly been through it, but you got to be resilient in getting that property, because you can get them quick. But if you have a give up attitude, it might take you a long time.
I think it's also the confidence as well. Like, you have to be really confident when you show up and speak to agents as if you're already an expert. It's kind of like a fake it until you make it, but I don't love that phrase. But you have to be the person that you want to be in the future, and that you know that someone is going to be attracted to partner with you and want to hand over one of their properties to you. So that, I mean, that comes down to mindset too, right? But it's building that confidence in yourself and being sure of yourself and what you are and what your business does and what it stands for and your point of difference and all of that. And he does that really well. He could just get on a phone call and he just knew what he needed to say.
Brilliant. You make a good team then. Because obviously it looks like, so Jonathan, you've done most of the prospecting.
Yep.
And then, you got those 4 properties within 2 days. When you say 2 days, did you guys set it all up within 2 days?
No, some of them were furnished. So we were wanting to start some with less stress. So we took on some furnished properties to kind of get our foot in the door.
Very specific with furniture though. Like I still wanted it to be the right kind of furniture. And
yeah, the 4 properties in 2 days was us just essentially signing the leases.
Yeah, 4 lease agreements being approved in 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, you guys move very fast. Did you negotiate a rental free period at all with these properties?
A few of the leases we weren't getting the keys until a few weeks after the lease we signed. So we had time with those ones. There was one in Cairns that we were able to buy a bit of time with free rent, which was handy. But obviously trying to get furniture up to Cairns hasn't been easy. So we're still a little bit behind the 8 ball getting that one rolling. But yeah, we bought ourselves a little bit of time.
That's great. And then what did the design plan and, the ordering of furniture look like, Beck?
Basically, I look through Pinterest. I have like a vision in my mind for how I want it to look. And then I start putting together a Pinterest board with inspiration. Then I go and search the furniture within the budget that I've kind of set for myself. And then I usually use Canva and I'll create a Canva lookbook almost for each room. And so I can see visually what does that piece look like with this piece and this piece. With the Cairns property, that was a little bit different because we went through a company that sources all the furniture for you. So we had to just choose a look, and we chose coastal Scandinavian, I think it was. And so they sent us kind of a similar thing. They sent us each room and the pieces that they had put together, and I basically went back and said, I don't love that artwork, I don't love these cushions, can we change the outdoor furniture? They changed them, came back to us. So that was a really easy process.
She downplays it a bit. I mean, Beck's the kind of person that can put a whole room of IKEA stuff together in a couple hours, whereas I get frustrated. I can't follow a plan. I can't do that. She does all of that. She's very, very talented.
Their own, right? You both have your strengths and you bring it to the table, and this is why you've managed to build what you have in such a short period of time. So talk us through, so you launched, what did it look like? You obviously had a bit of a stagger in launch dates for these Airbnbs. So what did that?
One of them launched in Surfers Paradise in January, and that was our first lease approval. Yeah. And then we got the next 4 in the 2 days, which was another in Surfers, Cairns, Casuarina, and Broadbeach. Basically, they all had different lease starting dates. So we just had to work out, okay, what's priority, what needs the most focus now, and then what can we push? Yeah, just had to make a priority list of what's priority this week and today. And
why I suggest people don't do this many at once, it's not because I'm not for scaling hard. Clearly I am. It's just we were still learning a lot. We're still trying to work out how cleaning systems work, how automations through all the CRM and all the systems work, how all the key nest and key locations work. There was so much for us to consider. And when you're trying to learn it, but then you have 4 at once to do, that was a little bit of the challenging part. Had we done that a little bit spaced out, it would have been a bit of a cakewalk. But anyway, it is what it is.
I will also say though, we've launched in a very quiet season, which has been to our benefit, I think, because it's allowed us kind of the time and space between bookings to iron out issues and learn the systems.
How they be performing? I know it's too early to tell, but how's it been?
Look, it definitely, obviously we need to get reviews. We need to get bums on beds. We need to get all those things happening so we can start optimizing the properties and things like that. So we are starting to get okay base. I know a lot of the time James talks about you want to try and have at least 30% on the books going into the month ahead, which that's always been my goal. And I know 2 of the properties coming up to March already have that. So I think that's a good result early on, considering March is quite low.
And when's peak time for that area, that region?
4 of our properties will be, obviously, the end of the year is going to boom.
Well, I think from September,
yeah,
most definitely things will absolutely ramp up and go a little bit crazy. Gold Coast specifically. I mean, in the school holidays, I think Gold Coast is always going to be popular.
Well, you've got April coming up.
Yes, we've got Easter, we've got the June, July holidays. You know, our winters are very mild, so people do come here in the school holidays during winter, but from September on, I really think that it's going to get a little bit wild.
Yeah, I mean, and Cairns, I believe it's going to be mid-year. Cairns is going to be more of the boom when it's not as hot up there, because it looks like things slow down around Christmas when it's so hot up there. So that might hopefully offset some of the low season here, which is kind of nice that we have that. And same with our American properties. They should kind of peak mid-year.
Let's talk. I love that you touched on the American one. So let's talk about that opportunity and how that came about. And yeah, what did that look like for you, especially, you know, living in Australia?
Over the last 13 years, we've lived in America on and off quite a lot. So we always wanted to scale America, just probably not this quick into things. An opportunity presented itself to get 4 properties in the one building, which obviously helps for, you know, the flow of everything and having all your systems in place and cleaning and all that. So we kind of jumped at that over the last week, really. And these are properties that are already existing. So
yeah, we acquired an LLC that someone was selling with a 4-property portfolio already set up, already operating. So it was kind of a no-brainer to be able to slide on in and just take over operations and management. And we own the business, but we didn't actually have to do any of the hard legwork to get it set up, which we wouldn't have been able to do at this present time.
Okay, so you'll be going over there, I guess, checking the properties out. Are there plans to expand, or we've got the 9 and we're just gonna see how they go?
That's not enough.
Well, I am being told to stop those for now. For now,
right
yes.
now, pump the brakes.
I think our next step is obviously later this year, maybe get a couple more over in Texas. And
Universal Studios opens there this summer. So like we had already talked about Texas being a location that we wanted to find properties in. Our properties are in downtown Dallas, so Universal's in Frisco, so a little bit out of the city.
Whereabouts did you live, by the way, when you were over there? Were you in Dallas?
We did actually spend some time in Dallas. We were there for a year, but we were mostly in Southern California, in San Diego, and then we did a short stint in Chicago as well.
Nice.
But yeah, and maybe mid this year we would like to get a really high-end house, luxury house here locally. That's probably the next step here locally. And that's probably it. I don't want to jump into too many more apartments right now. I think a really nice house would be good, and then scale a little bit more in America by the end of the year. If we can, probably the goal's about 15 by the end of the year. I would
20,
think.
you know.
Or 20. Yeah.
We like to work. As
You're the one that's telling me to pump the brakes.
I know.
So now you're saying 20?
For now.
Okay.
Pump the brakes for now.
All right.
While we get through the launch of all of these.
Well, I know.
properties.
James has told
Then we're
me.
going to get itchy feet.
James has told me some of his numbers, and I'm a competitive person, so I kind of want to see if I can.
Well, like 500, can we do that in a year? I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I would not advise that.
I'm sure you've had some late nights.
Yeah, we're not getting into this. I'm not the one being interviewed. But yeah, just what the next 3 months is going to bring for you guys. You know, you're talking about what, 15, 20 by the end of this year.
Yeah.
Depends what I'm allowed to. Yeah.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you guys. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to check with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I think the thing with this is when you become comfortable with the business model, which includes, like, we have now got virtual assistants running a lot of our operations. We've got most automations now in place. Once we get through the next month or so of getting everything fine-tuned for that, there's really no stopping you then from continuing to scale, because you don't need to worry about things going pear-shaped or the wheels falling off where you're going to start getting a bad reputation, because everything's in place. So I say that because if an opportunity comes up to get 10 apartments in a building and we're in the position where the business is going smoothly, then we would jump at that probably, right?
I mean, I don't know about 10 apartments. We just talked about getting houses.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yes, I know.
Yeah.
To your point, yes.
But yeah, talking about automation, let's touch on that a little bit more. You know, you said you've already got the virtual assistant set up. I love that you've got all that already in place within a short period of time because of how busy you guys are. So you have to have your business automated, especially with the plans to expand. So
well, when we had our first property, I mean, he was just responding to inquiries constantly, and that took up a lot of time. So I said to him, look, we really need to consider having help pretty early on, because as soon as we get more properties, this is going to be full on. And then it was like the day or two after that we got approved for the properties.
I was hesitant because I'm like, I got this. I'm fine. I can do this. But then all of a sudden, all these properties came, and I figured if we have 5 or 6 people in-house, groups in-house, and there's questions going on everywhere, then I can't handle that, you know. So, yeah.
It's just not possible. Yeah. So, I mean, it's brilliant. So you're using, have you got Host Assist? Are you using Host Assist? Yeah. Some of the other platforms, PriceLabs.
Yes.
Yeah. What was that like?
I enjoyed it because I'm a little bit familiar with that from my previous background. But we had everything, we had Guesty running with PriceLabs optimizing rates and slowly adding all the OTAs as we went. But then obviously Host Assist now is going to run majority of that, which I'll obviously keep up with as well. But to hand everything over to them is going to help us continue on.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And also just a little like plug for Host Assist, because ultimately we said to James in one of our coaching calls, you know, we know we need to probably look into virtual assistants. What do you suggest? He suggested Host Assist and just having a call to see if it would be for us. And I love the idea that, especially because we still are in the early days, we're still learning everything ourselves. Finding a virtual assistant and then training them up on everything felt very overwhelming to me. I'm like, I don't even know this stuff. How do I train a virtual assistant? But Host Assist obviously does all the training. They know a lot more of the ins and outs than we do yet. And so it's been really good to hand it over knowing that it's in good hands, and that everything, they have systems in place, they have processes. We can come in and go, hey, can we do this instead of this? But, you know, for the most part, everything's there, and they're trained to know exactly what you need for this specific industry and business model. So that has been so helpful.
That's so good to hear. Yeah,
absolutely.
Direct bookings, is that what does that look like for you? Have you got the website set up?
So we're really hoping it should have been kind of end of Jan, early Feb, but it has been pushed out with some changes we made. But we're doing a website through Boostly, and doing that whole program, which was recommended to us from James. That's been awesome. And so we don't have direct bookings yet. We're just sticking with the OTAs right now. I want to do everything right. I know you can do a free Guesty website. I just didn't personally love it, and we're okay with the OTAs for now until we have our website branded the way that we want it to, so that first response to everything that they see when they visit our website is how we want it to be. And so that hopefully will be launching soon. And, you know, I'm really having to start diving into the training that they provide now to help you move away from OTAs and get 50% direct bookings is kind of what they try and teach you. So we're really excited to implement more of that, especially for Dallas, where we're not there. I can't go in and film content for social media. I really need to rely on other means and forms of being able to market those places from afar. And
brilliant. It's good to hear. It's all a journey, isn't it? And you can't do everything everything all at once.
No.
I mean, even if you did take on 9 properties in 3 months, but we're getting the systems in place, automation, the rest of it. So, gosh, guys, like, are there any sort of, you know, what would you say has been your biggest challenge in all of this?
I think just understanding how the business model works, because there's so many aspects to it. Like I mentioned before, it's not just creating a pretty apartment or a home. It's, you know, making sure you're optimizing rates and your listings and having the right people in place to take a lot of the strain off you. There's just so much, and we even got our toes wet. I feel like we haven't even come across the obstacles that are still going to come our way, which is going to happen. So it's just, you know, getting the runs on the board and learning from the things that happen, which we're still learning a lot every day.
Yeah. And
I mean,
that
having good photography and styling, I think, is so important to your listings. In all transparency, Jono did jump the gun and want to list some properties before I had fully gone in and done my thing, because he just wanted to start getting bookings. And I said to him, he was like, "Oh, we're not really getting bookings in this place." And I said, "Well, wait until I actually style it and take better photos." And then literally I updated all the photos, and within 2 minutes we got our first booking. Then another that night, then another that night. And it was just like,
it was a told you so moment.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah. It was very much a told you so.
Yeah. Well, just go to know the importance of that element too, you know, in all of this.
It really does make a difference.
Yeah. You guys are an incredible team. What a force, honestly, an absolute force. So what about a win, the biggest win in all of this so far?
So many wins.
I don't know. For me, the wins come through bookings, because when I see a request come through for 7 nights and it's a couple $1,000 or whatever, that to me knows that we're doing the right thing and we're starting to reap the rewards from that. So to me, the wins are certainly coming with bookings. I think Texas is a huge achievement, because that just happened out of nowhere, and we worked really hard to understand how it works, negotiating, and to get the deal done. So I think I'm pretty proud of that one.
Yeah, I'm really proud of Texas. Yeah. We always wanted to expand to America, and so we've been very blessed to have an opportunity to expand much sooner than we planned, and I'm just really excited. I mean, I'm proud of us for just going after it and, you know, not letting any fears or doubts that might creep in stop us from taking action and just moving forward. And there's been moments where I've been angry at him and arguing at my point, or, you know, we're butting heads and not seeing eye to eye on things. And
I think Steph relates to that. I can tell.
Oh yeah.
But you know, like, you push through. I have my little hissy fit and I have a little mini meltdown, and then I just move on and get on with it anyway. And
brilliant.
And then, you know, you see the fruition of that. You don't just give up. And so I think a win for us as well is just, regardless of how hard it is, we just continue to push on and don't give up. And yeah, we will see the fruit of that eventually.
Yeah. I love that. I love hearing that. So relatable and so honest, so transparent. Where does this mindset come from though for you guys?
Honestly, and we were talking about this the other day, that being in business for ourselves previously has helped us. Me being an entrepreneur in the network marketing space, I always say to my team, this business is a personal growth journey with a paycheck attached.
Yeah,
So,
I think mindset determines your net worth, and Beck has known that for a long time. It took me a little bit later in life to, I think, get that. And if you're deciding to go, this is the right business for you, then you're going all in. So you need to be prepared that nothing's going to stop you. It doesn't matter if you get 99 out of 100 no's. There's going to be a yes waiting for you. So many people give up right before they get their win.
anything that you see as a failure, you have to just be able to shift your mindset and go, okay, what was the lesson in that? What did that teach me? How can I grow and expand from that? And then you no longer see failure as failure. You see it as your path to success, because you literally can't get to success without failing all the way there.
See what I listen to? This is why it motivates me to get 9 places. Yeah.
Wow. And I think, goodness me, anyone listening to this right now, if you are not encouraged and empowered after just hearing Jonathan and Beck's story and just this growth mindset that they have, I love just everything that you both touched on there. You know, you can't have success without failure. Your mindset determines your net worth. You know, the 99 out of 100, you know, as well. No, it's 99 out of 100. You got to be willing to, just accept that you are going to get those no's. But the resilience, you need to allow it to build up resilience in you instead of it, shutting you down completely and 100%. Causing you to give up. And I just think,
you feel like that, those doubts creeping, because we're all humans. It happens. It's not like we're superhuman and don't feel those feelings as well. But in those moments where I'm feeling weak or I'm like, I can't do this, instead of feeding those thoughts, I will go and listen to something that actually fuels me to turn that thought around. And that is a really important approach to have.
Absolutely. What do you listen to in terms of podcasts?
Oh gosh, I listen to a lot of books. Actually, one of my favorite books that I probably listened to about 8 times is called The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. And it is one of my favorite books. And then podcasts, I do love Grant Cardone.
Yeah, I think, my goodness, there couldn't be any better way, I think, to kind of close this out with just everything that you guys have just shared, mindset wise, the encouragement. Are there any final closing thoughts before we end this?
I will say, just to plug James's coaching, that if you're considering it or you're thinking about just trying to figure it out on your own. I mean, I said to Jonathan, I want to do his highest level mastermind because we know we want to scale quickly. Let's not muck around. Let's just get the most amount of coaching and mentoring that we can get, so that we are supported to do this the right way from the very beginning. And, you might not be able to do the highest level, but at any level, you're going to have access to his systems and his processes. And I think that's really important, because I think anyone, if you have the desire and the drive, you can figure it out, but you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and you're probably going to lose a lot more money than it would cost to just pay for the program. To be able to be handed, hey, this is the system to follow. These are the things you need to know. I just think that there's
a plug-in community is probably the biggest thing for me. Is you've got a bunch of other people like-minded, but they're also going through the same thing. So you're sharing wins, losses, what works, what doesn't, and that helps you move on.
Yeah, and you can learn from other people as well in the coaching calls. Like, it's not just about getting answers to our questions,
just sit there and hear what's going on. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, just that like-mindedness and the people who are all on a similar journey. It does motivate you. It does push you. It does, like you said, you hear things that you may not have come across yet, because there's someone further along in the journey, Yes. But already I feel like you guys have so much. You've already given so much. You've shared like from a wealth of wisdom and experience. And I'm just so grateful to have had you guys on this show. And so I really appreciate you. Yeah, really appreciate you both taking the time out.
Having us.
Everything you've got going on.
Say we're going to get on that podcast one day. So it's
and here you are.
Love it.
This has been great. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. I know without a shadow of a doubt you would have been inspired. So, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with those who are interested in getting started in this whole Airbnb world and space. And again, thank you to my guests, Jonathan and Rebecca of Elara Stays.
Elara Stays, yeah.
Elara Stays, brilliant.
Elara Escapes, sorry.
Let's get that right. From Elara Escapes.
That's it. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Thanks, Steph.
Bye.
Bye.